Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and today we've got an exciting topic that I know will make a big difference in your life. We're going to talk about how speaking English can truly change your life. It's not just about learning a language, it's about unlocking new opportunities and transforming your personal and professional world.
That's right, Jason. English is a global language, and whether you're looking to advance your career, make new friends, or travel the world speaking English, can open doors that you might not have even thought possible. And for all of you tuning in today, we'll explore how learning and speaking English can give you confidence, improve your job prospects, and help you grow in ways you might not expect.
Exactly. We'll also talk about some real-life examples of how English has changed lives. And I'll share some practical tips on how you can start improving your speaking skills right away. Whether you're a beginner or looking to polish your English, this episode is packed with valuable insights.
So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and get ready to learn how speaking English can be a game changer for you. By the end of this episode, we hope you'll be inspired to take the next step in your English learning journey.
All right, let's dive in and talk about why speaking English really is such a game changer. Julia, I know you've seen firsthand how English can open up so many possibilities, right?
Speaking English is more than just knowing how to communicate with people from different countries. It's about connecting with the world around you. Think about it. English is the language of international business, travel, science, and even entertainment. It's everywhere. Whether you're reading an article online, watching a movie, or traveling abroad, understanding English opens up a world of possibilities.
Exactly, Julia. In fact, English is often referred to as the global language. It's the bridge between different cultures, and knowing it can instantly connect you to people from all over the world. It's not just about understanding words, it's about understanding each other. Imagine traveling to a country where you don't speak the local language, but you can still communicate in English. That ability can make all the difference in your experience.
I totally agree. And speaking from a personal experience, Jason, I can tell you that speaking English has allowed me to interact with people from so many different countries. It's like having a key to unlock a new world of ideas, experiences, and even friendships. You don't just hear about different cultures, you get to engage with them, learn about their way of life, and see things from a completely new perspective.
That's such a great point, Julia. And think about how this applies in everyday life. You're at a cafe in Paris, and someone at the next table is trying to speak with the waiter, but the language barrier is making it difficult. Now, imagine you're the person who can step in and help out because you speak English. Not only does it feel amazing to be able to assist, but it's also a perfect example of how speaking English gives you the confidence to handle any situation that comes your way.
Absolutely. And it's not just about travel. In the workplace, English is often the common language for collaboration, even if you're not in an English-speaking country. Companies worldwide use English for meetings, emails, and even conferences. So, having the ability to speak English can set you apart from others, giving you a competitive edge. You'll feel more confident in meetings, networking events, and even when applying for jobs.
That's a huge point, Julia. Speaking English doesn't just help you in your personal life, it can completely transform your career. You'll have access to more job opportunities, better chances of promotion, and the ability to network with people from across the globe. All of these things are incredibly valuable, and they come when you can speak English confidently.
It's true, and it's important to remember that learning English doesn't happen overnight, but the benefits, both personal and professional, make the effort worth it. So for anyone listening, whether you're starting out or trying to improve, just know that mastering English can have a profound impact on your life.
Absolutely. So, now that we've talked about how speaking English can open so many doors, let's dive a bit deeper into how it can specifically boost your career and personal growth. Julia, Have you seen any examples where speaking English has really made a difference for people's careers? Let's dive into one of the biggest advantages of speaking English, how it can transform your career. I think many people underestimate how much speaking English can boost their professional opportunities. But the truth is, in today's globalized world, English is often seen as a key skill that can help you advance in your career.
Definitely. Whether you're working for a local company or an international organization, being able to communicate in English is a huge asset. Let's say you're applying for a job. Companies often look for candidates who can speak English fluently because it allows them to communicate with clients, suppliers, or colleagues from all around the world. That's a major advantage when it comes to standing out in a competitive job market.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the opportunities that come with being able to travel for work. Many companies today are multinational, and they require employees who can communicate across borders. If you speak English, you might be the person chosen to travel, represent your company, or lead international meetings. All of these experiences can help you grow both personally and professionally.
And there's also the point about career progression. When you're fluent in English, you're more likely to be considered for higher-level positions, especially if the company operates internationally. Whether it's in marketing, finance, technology, or any other industry, English-speaking employees are often given more responsibility because they can communicate effectively with people from other countries. It really can open doors to promotions.
Exactly, Julia. And there's a broader impact, too. When you're confident in your ability to speak English, it affects your entire work ethic. You're more likely to take on challenges, participate in discussions, and contribute in meetings. You're not held back by the fear of making mistakes or not being understood. You're able to communicate your ideas clearly and confidently.
That's a great point, Jason. I've seen this firsthand with people I know who have improved their English skills. They become more assertive in meetings, they get noticed by management, and they're seen as leaders. Speaking English doesn't just help you do your job better, it helps you excel at your job.
And it's not just about the corporate world either. Freelancers and entrepreneurs, for example, can leverage their English skills to attract clients from around the world. With English being the language of the Internet, you can reach potential customers, partners, or collaborators who may not speak your native language. Whether you're building a brand or offering services, speaking English opens up the global market.
Yes, and let's also talk about networking. When you attend conferences, webinars, or industry events, English is often the common language. If you can speak English well, you can network with people from all over the world, exchange ideas, and build relationships that could be invaluable for your career. It's all about connecting, and English makes those connections easier.
Right. And it's also worth noting that many industries have standardized their training and resources in English. Whether it's reading technical manuals, attending online courses, or staying up to date with the latest industry trends, most of this content is in English. So having the ability to understand it gives you a clear advantage in keeping up with the latest developments in your field.
Exactly. And even if your company doesn't operate internationally, you might find yourself working with clients or suppliers who prefer to communicate in English. In those situations, being able to speak the language not only makes things easier, but can also help build trust and credibility with those clients.
All of this just goes to show how English isn't just a nice skill to have. It's essential for career growth in today's interconnected world. The more proficient you are, the more doors open for you, whether it's in your current job or future opportunities.
Absolutely. So if you're wondering how to get started or improve your English to take advantage of these career opportunities, stick with us because we'll be talking about practical tips and strategies in the next segment.
That's right. We're going to dive into how you can start speaking English more confidently, whether you're a beginner or looking to improve your fluency. But before that, let's take a quick break and think about how speaking English can boost your confidence in other aspects of your life.
Now that we've talked about the professional benefits of speaking English, let's shift gears and explore how it can affect your personal growth and confidence. For many learners, the idea of speaking English often feels intimidating. But the truth is, learning and speaking a new language like English can have an incredible impact on your self-esteem and overall confidence.
Absolutely, Julia. When you start speaking English, you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And every time you speak, whether it's to a friend, a colleague, or even a stranger, you're challenging yourself to grow. That sense of achievement when you can communicate effectively is so rewarding, and it builds your confidence over time.
I totally agree. Think about how empowering it is to express yourself in a language that is not your native one. You might be nervous at first, but as you practice, you realize you can get your message across, and you start feeling more confident in yourself and your abilities. It's a real confidence booster.
That's a great point. And confidence doesn't just come from speaking English in a classroom or formal setting. It can also come from social situations. For example, if you're traveling and you can speak English with someone, it's not just about exchanging information. It's about connecting with another human being, overcoming language barriers, and building new relationships. Each time you do that, your confidence grows.
Exactly. And the best part is that confidence spills over into other areas of your life, too. When you're comfortable speaking English, you'll start feeling more confident in other situations. Maybe you'll feel braver about asking for something you need, sharing your thoughts in a meeting, or even approaching someone you'd like to get to know. You become more comfortable asserting yourself in any situation, not just in English.
That's such an important point, Julia. Learning a new language is really about learning to trust yourself. Trusting that you can communicate. Trust that you can express your ideas. And trust that even if you make a mistake, it's okay. It's all part of the process. And when you make that leap, you'll notice that your confidence starts to grow not just in speaking English, but in everything else you do.
And let's talk about how learning English can improve your mental agility, too. Studies have shown that learning a second language boosts cognitive skills like problem-solving, multitasking, and memory. The more you practice speaking English, the sharper your brain becomes, and you become more flexible in how you approach challenges. It's like giving your brain a good workout.
That's a really good point, Julia. And when your brain is sharp, your confidence goes up. You become more adept at thinking on your feet, whether you're solving problems at work, negotiating a deal, or even navigating through daily life situations. Speaking English also helps you think critically, which means you're more able to process complex ideas, make decisions, and adapt to new situations with ease.
And what's amazing is that this personal growth happens at your own pace. It doesn't matter where you start, it's the consistent effort that leads to big changes. So, whether you're just beginning or you've been learning for a while, don't compare yourself to others. Your progress is personal, and every step forward is a victory.
Exactly, Julia. And the beauty of it is, the more you practice speaking English, the more you'll see those changes in yourself. And that confidence will ripple out into other areas of your life, from the workplace to social situations to even your relationship with yourself. So, for anyone listening, remember that it's not just about speaking English, it's about the growth that comes along with it.
I love that, Jason. It's about building confidence in yourself as a whole. And as we'll talk about next, overcoming the fear of speaking English is a big part of that journey.
Right. Speaking English doesn't always come easy, and we know that fear can hold people back. But overcoming that fear is an essential part of growing as a person. Let's talk about that next, and share some tips on how to break through that barrier.
All right, Jason. Now that we've explored how speaking English can boost your confidence and personal growth, let's talk about something that a lot of English learners struggle with. Fear. The fear of speaking in English can be paralyzing, and it's something that many of us have faced at one point or another. But the truth is, overcoming that fear is absolutely possible.
Definitely, Julia. And it's important to acknowledge that the fear of speaking English is completely normal. When you're learning a new language, especially one that isn't your native tongue, it's easy to feel self-conscious about making mistakes or being misunderstood. But here's the thing, making mistakes is a natural part of learning. In fact, it's one of the best ways to learn and grow.
I couldn't agree more. The key is to shift your mindset. Instead of fearing mistakes, start seeing them as learning opportunities. Every time you make a mistake, you're one step closer to improving. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become with making mistakes and correcting them. It's all part of the process.
Exactly, Julia. And I think one of the biggest fears people have is sounding wrong or not fluent enough. But fluency doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice, patience, and perseverance. So, if you make a mistake, it's okay. Everyone who speaks English as a second language has made mistakes along the way. The important thing is that you keep speaking and improving.
That's right. And one thing that really helped me when I was overcoming my fear was practicing in a safe space. Whether that's with a close friend, a language partner, or even in front of a mirror, it helps to start small and build your confidence gradually. The more you speak in these safe settings, the more comfortable you'll feel when you speak in public or in real-life situations.
Great point, Julia. It's all about building up your confidence one step at a time. And if you're afraid of speaking because you're worried about being judged, remember that most people will appreciate your effort. Most native English speakers understand that you're learning, and they'll be patient with you. In fact, they'll often admire the fact that you're putting in the effort to speak their language.
Exactly. And another helpful tip is to focus on the message you're trying to communicate, not just on the words or grammar. Sometimes we get so caught up in getting the perfect sentence that we forget the most important thing is getting our point across. If the message is clear, people will understand, even if there are some small mistakes along the way.
That's such an important reminder, Julia. If you focus too much on perfection, it can actually make you more nervous and stop you from speaking altogether. Instead, try to be more focused on communication and the connection you're making with the person you're speaking to.
Yes. And one final thing I'll say is that the fear of speaking often comes from being in your head too much. The more you practice, the more you start to trust yourself. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there, even if it's uncomfortable at first. Take the leap and trust that you'll get better with time.
Absolutely, Julia. Overcoming the fear of speaking is all about taking action. It might feel intimidating at first, but as you practice, you'll notice that fear slowly disappears. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become. And eventually, speaking English will feel just as natural as speaking your native language.
I love that. So, for anyone listening, remember, don't let fear hold you back. Embrace the process, make mistakes, and keep going. You'll be amazed at how much progress you can make when you push past that fear.
Exactly. Keep speaking, keep practicing, and trust the journey. We'll be back in just a moment with some practical tips on how to start speaking English more confidently, so stay tuned.
Now that we've tackled overcoming the fear of speaking, let's dive into some practical tips that can help you improve your English speaking skills. These tips are simple but highly effective, and they'll make a big difference in how you speak English every day.
That's right, Julia. The key to improving your speaking skills is consistent practice and using the language in real-life situations. So, let's start with one of the most important tips. Practice speaking every day. Even if it's just for a few minutes a day, speaking regularly will help you become more comfortable and confident with the language.
Absolutely. You can practice speaking English by talking to a language partner, a friend, or even just speaking to yourself. One thing I used to do was talk about my day in English, describing what I was doing or what I planned to do. It's a great way to get into the habit of thinking in English, and it doesn't feel like a formal practice, it's just part of your daily routine.
That's such a great tip, Julia. And another helpful method is shadowing. Shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker, maybe through a podcast, movie, or TV show, and repeat what they say, trying to mimic their pronunciation, tone, and rhythm. It helps improve your fluency and gives you a chance to hear the natural flow of English.
Exactly. And the more you shadow, the more you start to sound natural, like a native speaker. But here's another tip that's super effective: record yourself speaking. This might feel a little strange at first, but it's a great way to track your progress and identify areas where you can improve. You might notice that some words or sounds are harder for you to pronounce, and you can work on those specific areas.
Recording yourself is so powerful because it gives you an opportunity to listen to how you sound and compare it with native speakers. You can also use apps or language platforms that allow you to practice and get feedback on your pronunciation.
Yes, and speaking of apps, another helpful tip is to use language learning apps like Duolingo, Babel, or HelloTalk. These apps often have speaking exercises that can help you improve your pronunciation, vocabulary, and fluency. Plus, some of them allow you to interact with other learners, so you can practice speaking with people around the world.
That's a great resource. And watching TV shows and movies in English is another fun and effective way to improve. Try watching with subtitles first, then slowly challenge yourself to watch without them. This helps you get used to how English sounds in real conversations, and you'll pick up common phrases and expressions that you can use in your own speech.
Exactly. And if you find certain words or phrases difficult, don't be afraid to repeat them over and over until they feel natural. The more you practice these tricky words, the more comfortable you'll become with them.
And lastly, don't be afraid to make mistakes when practicing. This is something we've touched on before, but it's important to remind ourselves that mistakes are part of the process. The more you speak, the more mistakes you'll make, but you'll also learn from them and improve over time.
Definitely. And one more thing I'll add is join a language group or community. There are so many online forums, Facebook groups, and language meetups where you can practice speaking English with other learners or native speakers. Surrounding yourself with a community of people who are also learning makes the process much more enjoyable and motivating.
Great advice, Julia. So, to recap, here are our top tips for improving your English speaking. 1. Practice speaking every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. 2. Try shadowing native speakers to improve your fluency. 3. Record yourself speaking and track your progress. 4. Use language apps to practice speaking and get feedback. 5. Watch TV shows and movies in English to get used to natural conversations. 6. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're part of the learning process. 7. Join a language group or community to practice with others.
Exactly. With these tips, you'll be speaking English more confidently and naturally in no time. The key is to stay consistent, practice regularly, and most importantly, enjoy the learning process.
That's right, Julia. And with all that said, remember that speaking English is a skill that improves over time. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and soon enough, you'll see a big difference in your speaking abilities. Let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up with a final message on how speaking English truly can change your life.
Well, Jason, we've covered a lot today. From overcoming the fear of speaking English to practical tips for improving your speaking skills, I think we've given our listeners a solid roadmap to start speaking English confidently and consistently.
Absolutely, Julia. We've discussed how speaking English can truly be a game changer in your personal and professional life. Whether it's boosting your career opportunities, building your confidence, or connecting with people from all over the world, speaking English can open so many doors. It's not just about learning a language. It's about improving yourself and your life in ways you might not have even imagined.
And don't forget, everyone, learning a new language is a journey. There will be challenges along the way, but every step forward brings you closer to your goals. So, take it one day at a time, practice consistently, and most importantly, keep speaking.
Exactly. And to everyone listening, we encourage you to start putting these tips into action. Whether it's practicing speaking every day, shadowing native speakers, or joining a community of learners, take that first step today. The more you speak, the more you'll improve. And soon you'll realize just how powerful speaking English can be for changing your life.
We'd love to hear about your experiences. So don't forget to comment below or connect with us on social media and let us know how speaking English has made a difference in your life. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more helpful tips and strategies for learning English.
That's right. If you found this podcast helpful, please share it with your friends who might also benefit from it. And remember, learning English is a journey, and you don't have to do it alone. We're here to help you every step of the way.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the English Learning Podcast. Keep practicing, keep growing, and keep speaking.
Take care, everyone, and good luck with your English learning journey.